Yep. This bike is terrible.
GSXR Bro's bike really sucks. It's falling apart, it's starting to rust. Loose wires are everywhere, no bolts holding on the chair. I hate this build. Why did I agree to this?
Yeah, somehow this is the new project bike. This is GSXR Bro's GSXR, and it is the most GSXR Bro GSXR that I've ever seen. This is just awful. I don't know how this thing passed tech inspection for a racetrack. It's got 2 of them right here from Ride Smart. Y'all playing around. This thing should not pass tech inspection. It's had a hard life. Mr. Brah has beat the hell out of it. I mean, God, the guy rides it through creeks after all. He gets whipped on the racetrack. He goes 1,000,000,000 miles an hour down the highway with it. A while back, he hit me up and was like, Jake, I need to do a bunch of stuff to the bike. Would you be willing to help me with it? And I was like, dude, just drop it off, give me the parts, and we'll make it a series. And that's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna keep doing this. Maybe I'll fly away from this piece of shit. If any of y'all saw the 636 build, it just had so much grease. Everything I touch is greasy on it. The 636 build that we did years ago was kind of in a similar state where there was just so much just funky stuff under the covers, you know, random sport bike owner crap. This is that even harder. Just picked up a new one yesterday. We might as well just go ahead and douse the whole thing down. I told him I'd try to fix it. The game plan is to strip this thing down, fix all the little dumb things that need to be fixed. It's leaking oil. There's like 0 oil in the sight window right now. We got new fairings for it. The subframe is being held together by JB Weld. There's just a bazillion scary zip ties on this right now. None of them are cut properly. Just total GSXR Bro crap. We're gonna upgrade a few things. I think he wants to do some stuff with the brakes, tune up kind of stuff. We'll adjust the valves, probably throw some new plugs in there. Whatever else needs to be done along the way. Basically still has a lot of parts he needs to get to me. Basically the only things I have right now are some fairings. I do want to get started on this. I've been reluctant to because I don't want to like get it in a state where it's all ripped apart and then just sits in here for months waiting on more parts from him. But inevitably, I think that's what's gonna end up happening. So, you know, hopefully it'll be at least be in a state where I can move it. I can drag this lift pretty easily out of the way, even with a bike on it. Bikes had, God, there's so many things. Everywhere I look at it, there's just more and more crap. I mean, look at this, the brake reservoir. What is this? What is this? How many bolts missing? I told him to get a bolt kit. And he did, but he was like, are those even any good? Yes, yeah, they're great. We need one. This is bent. Yeah, 0 oil in there. It's been leaking everywhere I've had to park it. I've had to put cardboard under it. Again, how did this pass tech inspection? No idea. This bike, and I'm not saying this to sound funny, if this bike was, if you took it just to like a dealership and asked them to fix it, it's totaled. I mean, it just is. There's no way with parts and labor that it's the value of the machine. But luckily, because I'm a silly YouTuber, he gets a certified mechanic to fix his bike. All he has to do is provide the parts. Because content is king. What have I got myself into? This is JB Weld. Oh, apparently this is a cover too. I don't know when they started doing this. Yeah, and of course the tank has got a massive dent in it. So this is just... He asked me if I could fix that. I'm like, bro, I'm not a body guy. It's a little beyond my skills. Look at this. To start the bike, he put Impact Tech on here. You know, it's a knockoff of the actual good ones, like proper RSC right here, which is 10 times nicer. But he's got the Impact Tech because he's a GSXR Bra. And so in order to start it in gear, he has this. This was his solution. And I told him, no big deal. I'll set it up like I did on my other bikes where I turn this into a momentary switch, the pass light, except I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't work. I hope you're ready to spend some money on this thing, Mr. Brah, because the list that we came up with it already needs so much more. Enough BSing around. Let's get this thing torn down because we're gonna definitely find some more stuff as we do that. Because all this, what is this? What's all this? A speed healer? What does this thing do? What the fuck is this? Why isn't this in a holder? It goes clearly right there. Oh my God, everything is dumb. Why is this that long? This is also a 13, which means it's actually some kind of standard size. GSXR Bro things. What size are these? I guess just to get these side fairings off, I'm gonna have to pull these speed rails off. They're engine mounts, so oh, that was not tight at all. It's no big deal, it just holds the engine in. He's got a loose nut on here, acting as a spacer, I'm assuming. Okay. For right now, I'm gonna stick it back in, but that's gotta change. Right now, we just need to snug these down. They don't need to be real tight. Man, they just don't need the engine falling out on us. It's just a big old piece of all thread. That's... Oversized nuts are not typically a spacer. 2 of them on this one. For right now, I'm just gonna shove them back in, deal with that later. Big old thing of all thread. So this whole bike is just held together by greasy zip ties. They haven't been cut off right. This shit drives me nuts, man. Motorcycle fairings used to be simpler. First bike I owned was a 2001 R6, and you would just remove some bolts and like the fairing would come off. Now there's all these hidden clips, and you got to know the way to, you know, move it or whatever, and everything's busted up and out lining up right anyway. There's a bunch of screws down here in this bottom thing that I can't access except for I'm on the inside. How the f does that make sense? What do I do, Suzuki? Oh my God, it's a bolt. There's some of the oil that was missing. It's right there. Everything's zip tied together. So many unplugged cables on this thing, right? Like, what do these go to? The other turn signal's just, what, is it hardwired in? It's not soldered together. It's literally like, bind it up in electrical tape and just zip tied together. Oh my God. That is some GSXR brah wiring right there. Myself a bit of slack to fix that later. Why are these mirror screws 3 times longer than they need to be? Of course you used a locking nut. Why would you use anything about that? 2 to 3 washers. That's just the GSXR brah way. Oh. We had most of the bolts in there. Pretty good for a GSXR. Now, can I be gentle and get this out? Sure. It's so greasy in here, but I think I see the source of it. Now, apparently it's leaking out of this side case right here. GSXR brah's told me that. Place the gasket in here. It's greasy all over the front of the engine, and we look up here, you can just see everything is just grimy, really grimy. I bet that might be the cause of it right there. This is the breather filter for the engine. Well, originally this came up, see, here's where the breather comes up, goes like that. And it looks like there's a cap here, and this did something else originally. This is also right here. This is the pair system, which has just been piped together. So I guess that's a simple way of clogging it up. But this filter's sitting right here. Now he's doing a lot of big wheelies. This might be letting oil out at times, although it doesn't feel, it's a little grimy. The problem is everything's grimy up here, but if he's cracking wheelies, this thing's pissing out some oil, which sometimes happens when you're cracking wheelies. And it hits the engine here and it just runs down. That would kind of make sense. Look at this thing. Everything I touch on here. Oh my gosh, how do I even stop the camera? You could just see it here, the oil coming down to Earl, onto Earl Curler. By the way, also I asked him, I said, do I need to rebuild your forks? He goes, no, I just had them rebuilt. Okay. Well, I won't be rebuilding them then. But yeah, but look how much corrosion, oxidation is on this radiator. Plus there's a patch up there, it looks like. I mean, I was asking him, I said, do you have any cooling issues? He's like, absolutely not. I said, the thing runs perfectly fine. But I mean, look at the condition of this radiator. Pretty rough. Also, here's some more evidence of oil right here coming down. You know, so there's no like hard evidence of it just hard dripping somewhere. This would be like misting it coming out, kind of getting onto everything. There's intake valves right there. You can see them right there when you crack those open. I'm pretty grimy. This whole thing's pretty grimy. You get some more simple green, but WD-40 always good too. WD-40 is better than like carb cleaner, brake cleaner, all this other stuff, because this stuff, got a manual cam chain tensioner. Wonder when the last time that was checked. Anyway, you can spray this on here and it'll sit and work out this stuff and makes it softer, where if we use a corrosive cleaner, it's gonna dry in like no time. So unless you're gonna spray it, then like immediately hit it up. This is so grimy everywhere. You'd be surprised though what you can do with something like this. little bit of time, and then using a little scrubber, toothbrush, air compressor, we can get a lot of this off. It is the same thing happened with the XR650R, the 636. So much just cleaning and scrubbing and wiping things down. And I try to show a bit of that because the process is, it's a part of the build. I can only show so much of that, and I'll try not to bore y'all too much with that in the next video. But hopefully we can also get the subframe off and this wiring, and we'll get to get the valve cover off. There's a lot to do. This is the Gixxer Bro build. I'm not surprised at all. There's still random wires hanging off of things. There's so many just unplugged connectors. I don't know what they go to. He did tell me earlier, by the way, he said that he hasn't touched any wiring on this bike, so don't blame him. But you do call yourself Gixxer Brah, and this is your bike, so by association, you're gonna get blamed for it. So if you have any suggestions on the old Gixxer Brah bike, let me know, man. If you wanna see these videos ahead of everybody, you wanna be on the cutting edge of what's going on with this build, jump over in my Patreon. It's just $1 a month. It's actually, it says it's set as per video, but we do it that way so in case I never upload, like something happens, you're not just getting charged. If you want to do it for $1 a month, you go in there and you set a cap for $1. You still have access to everything. Literally, you will have access to, you don't have to pay like per video. You'll have access to everything. So, and if you want to do more, that's also great. You know, or just sell a slightly higher cap. That would actually make this more doable. But otherwise, yeah. And if you do jump in there, link your Discord so you can chat with me in there. I get the live chats all the time. I'm gonna jump on them later tonight. It's a fun time. It's a great community. Gixxer Bros bike, look at it. Here it is. All right, see y'all next video.